Catherine in Ben Salem. Scope of work is going to be a handful of different items. I'm going to separate the front yard from the backyard and a couple different things, so check the notes for which ones she accepts and doesn't. So starting in the front yard, is a little bit of a tricky property to access in general, especially the backyard. I'm trying to think the best way for you guys to get up here is probably going to be this hill right here, I would think. Maybe the other side, depending what the cars look like. But you do have a little hump here to get up with the mulch and things of that sort. You can kind of park like across the street. It's like right off of Route 1 with the dump trailer probably. Or if it's easier, they could probably move their cars over there. You can park kind of in front of their house, whatever. Or actually, now I'm thinking about it, you probably could get the dump maybe like right here and then shovel from the dump into these mulch beds potentially. Whatever you guys think. But anyway, scope of work in the front is going to be mulch install. It's going to be brown mulch. So over here, she wants to like widen these mulch beds a little bit. I kind of sold her against it in this area. She wanted to go all the way to the driveway, and I said, you're probably going to get washout onto the neighbor's driveway. So basically she just said, all right, can we just like cut it a little wider here, like just give it more of like a flare out here. So cut out, remove this grass, extend the mulch bed, weed out the beds, brown mulch install here, kind of clean them out, cut her a fresh edge everywhere, fresh mulch install. Said she's looking to sell the property in fall, so she wants to kind of get things cleaned up for the summer, and then she can maintain it, and then it'll still be looking good in the fall when she looks to sell. And then here, just extend this a little bit, same thing, just kind of widen it out and then loop it around and then close it back in. So looking to widen this one. She also wants some more room for her plants and stuff, so she does a lot of planting. Not too many weeds in here, but most of this is plant. You can see got some flowery plants and things of that sort. So weed that out, clean that up, and then brown mulch over here. The other thing, you'll have to cut it out, but cut like a little circle around this plant, and then brown mulch install there. Next, this bush she wants dramatically cut back. So she said about a foot all the way around. So I said we'll do what we can, cut back as much as possible without it looking super bare. And I think you probably could do a foot because it looks like it's going into it. It's about a foot or so of green. So I think you can get away easily with a foot, no problem, without it looking too bare. So just trim and shape that whole thing, give it a round shape the best you can. And then there's ivy underneath there on the ground. She said if you can just bust all that up, string trim it out, try to like rip it at the root the best you can, and then throw mulch under there as well, make it a nice little circle mulch bed. And then walking to the back, she also wants this walkway to be accessible again. It's kind of just overgrown right now, so she'll basically just come in with like a string trimmer. You don't got to cut out all the ivy here on the tree, but off the walkway she does want it all cut out and hauled away, kind of rake out this whole area. Got some weeds and stuff. Actually, I'm just noticing this area. We didn't talk about this. She probably forgot to mention it. I think she would probably want this one mulched. It's not a huge bed. I would include this in it too. She didn't talk about it, but I'm just noticing that now. Cut all this out, clean all this up, and then rake out all this growth so she has her walkway back all the way to here. And then moving to the backyard, so the backyard portion of work. So, will be difficult to work back here. I did warn her the price would be kind of higher for back here versus the front. As far as accessing it, your best bet would be coming through this way. So starting over here, she just wants all the weeds cleared out. It's basically like all weeds here. Weed all this out and mulch install. And then you have up here, weed all this out, clear all this out. There is some plants in there, so you can leave them, and then mulch install there. She also said, so like the property line goes to that post, to that tree. They cut that tree. There's a tree stump right here, and then there's like funky growth growing off it. There's another one right there, funky growth growing off it. You can cut all that out and then mulch install all here. And then over to here, same thing here. This is all weedy growth. Obviously you have the plants here, so cut all that out and then mulch all around the shed. There's some plants you can see, the rest is just funky growth. Cut all that out, mulch around it. Moving over to here, cut all this out. There is a couple plants she said in here. If I see one there, one there, it's kind of all I see. The rest is weedy, funky growth. There's that funky stuff growing on the stump. So cut all the rest out and then mulch, and then when it gets to about here, you can just stop. She's just gonna leave all like the natural ground cover kind of going throughout the rest of it. But this whole area, you'll have to like establish some edge line of some sort. And then lastly, this area, you used to mulch it. Doesn't look like she's mulched it in a while. It's a pretty good slant, so I don't know how much mulch you can totally get on it anyway. But yeah, kind of blow out the debris and then kind of put some mulch on it. I might put a disclaimer. I don't know how much mulch is going to stay in that area. It's such a slant, but that one's going to be really tough to get to, honestly. There's not really a great way. You're just going to have to walk up the steps with like a pitchfork by pitchfork for this one. It's not a ton of mulch, but yeah, that's really the best way to do that one, I guess. Bagged mulch would almost be easier to toss up here or something, but yeah, and then nothing going on in the back right now, she said, so just that.